That is so very good of you. Always so good. Jane is not well. She has a fearful headache. It came upon her at Box Hill and it has got worse since. She asks me to make her apologies to you. She cannot leave her bed. But even so, she has determined to accept the post with Mrs. Smallridge. She would write today, and so we are to lose her. But it is very good of you to come, Miss Woodhouse. So very good. You are always very good.
Ah, there you are, my dear. I wouldn't leave without seeing you. I'm going to London to spend a few days with John and Isabella. Have you anything to send or say? Besides the love which no one carries?
No, nothing. Isn't this rather a sudden scheme?
Yes. Or rather, I have been thinking of it for some little time.
Dear Emma has been to call on Mrs. and Miss Bates, Mr. Knightley. She's always so attentive to them.
I must go.
I do not like it, Emma, when people go away. I know they must do sometimes, but I do not like it.
Nor I.
I have made up my mind that I shall never marry.
Harriet, what makes you say this? I hope it's not in compliment to Mr. Elton.
Oh, no. There is a person I admire, but he's not someone I could ever. I owe so much to him, and how could anyone not admire him?
And this dates from the service he rendered you?
Oh, yes. When I saw him coming, how noble he looked. What a change. From perfect misery to perfect happiness. But I mustn't think of him, must I?
Well, stranger things have... No. Dear Harriet, you mustn't let yourself be influenced, especially by me. From now on, I am determined to lead a better life.
Oh, Miss Woodhouse, what can I say? We have such kind neighbours. But Jane has told me to say that she still feels quite unequal to receiving anybody. Oh, Miss Woodhouse, her spirits are quite overcome. She has not left her room for 3 days.
Father, it is with the deepest sorrow that I must inform you of the death of my aunt, Mrs. Churchill. She was carried off by a seizure early on Tuesday morning. I was glad to be with her at the last. As to the future, that seems at present uncertain. I shall visit you again as soon as I can.
Well, I'm heartily sorry for almost everything I said and thought about Mrs. Churchill.
Yes, poor lady. Very sad. So ill and everyone vexed with her.
Two interesting questions remain. Will she have left Mr. Frank Churchill enough money to make him independent? And given that, who will he marry now he is free to make his own choice? I gather that the stepfather is a very easygoing man and quite unlike his wife.
Yes. Who will he marry now he has his choice?
Harriet, I have reformed. My lips are sealed.
Miss Woodhouse? Ah, Miss Woodhouse. Can you come to Randall's at any time this morning? Mrs. Weston wants to see you. Can you come?
Yes, of course. This moment, if you please. But what is the matter? Is she ill?
No, it's something else. Don't be impatient. It will all come out soon enough. Mrs. Weston will break it to you better than I can.
Good God, what? Something has happened to Isabella, to the children.
No, indeed. It's nothing to do with anyone by the name of Knightley. It is to do with... Come, walk with me. Mrs. Weston will not be easy until she has seen you.
What is it, my dear friend? Tell me at once. It will do you good to speak of your distress, whatever it is.
I will tell you, Emma. Frank was here this morning. He came to speak to his father on a subject. To announce an attachment. Emma, Frank is engaged to Jane Fairfax. He has been secretly engaged to her since October last when they met at Weymouth. It was he who sent the piano. Emma, he was engaged to Jane Fairfax before he ever came here.
What is the matter? I have no doubt at all. It was an offering of love.
An offering of love? You have convinced me. I believe it was.
It seems the engagement had to be secret. He had to deceive us all because he feared his aunt's disapproval.
Or feared she would disinherit him.
It has hurt me, Emma, very much. It has hurt his father, too. Some part of his conduct we cannot excuse.
Let me relieve you on that score, at least. There was a time, I confess, when I liked him. When I liked him very much. And how it came to cease, I do not know, but you may believe me, I am safe. But his behaviour to her, and to us all. What hypocrisy, what deceit. Here we have been the whole winter and spring, fancying ourselves on an equal footing of truth and honour, and all this time he is... Oh, Lord, how shall I break it to Harriet?
Harriet?
Me? Why should you think it would affect me? You don't think I care for Mr. Frank Churchill?
But Harriet, didn't you say so yourself? Considering the service he rendered you, it was extremely natural.
No. Oh, you have misunderstood me. I meant a much more precious circumstance. I meant Mr. Knightley, when he asked me to dance.
Oh, good God. Oh, Harriet, if I had known you'd meant Mr. Knightley, I should never in a million years have encouraged you.
Why should you not? You said that more wonderful things had happened, and why should it not be so?
And you believe he returns your affection?
Yes, I must say that I do.
Has he said anything directly?
No, but he has talked to me in a very particular way. He seemed to be asking whether my affections were engaged.
You are sure he was not thinking of Mr. Martin?
Mr. Martin? No, indeed. I hope I know better now than to care for Mr. Martin. I would never have thought of Mr. Knightley, you know, if you had not encouraged me.
Oh, God, that I'd never met her!
Did you say anything, my dear?
Nothing, Papa.